Okay. I know it feels so much darker when I'm wearing black. My hair pulled back. All right. I'm feeling a lot of the ugly vibe coming through because I feel like I've been beat to death. My face is now like just poofy, and I feel like I've aged 10 years. I'm feeling really ugly on the inside because I've just been tortured, and I definitely don't feel beautiful at all. And after Gabriel, it's like there's almost nothing left, and you just feel injured inside, and you feel kind of gross and unloved and unappreciated. And it's probably what every soldier in history feels like. I go off to war and I lose a limb, and now I feel super ugly. Okay. Um, and then I feel unappreciated for every inch of sacrifice I gave. And like nobody can even look at me or even acknowledge my existence. So that's like the reality of the scenario. And then we get into chesed, and a lot of the spiritual love starts to come through in a revisioning of vitality. Um, uh, it's a new depth or layer of spiritual development and understanding where you become actually bigger. You know, when they say, like, be the bigger person, like, it's because you actually do become bigger. Your consciousness expands and develops. And it's no longer a fraud or a front. I'm being the bigger person with that rhetoric in your head. It's more like I am now bigger, and I have what was once huge to me is actually quite small in comparison because of all of my new experiences and my new profound understanding or development. As you see the sun come in, you can definitely tell, like, I've aged 10 years. Okay. So I have this magic and I have this chi and I have all of this energy. And I'm thinking, like, I wish I could do something to my, like, I wish I could make myself feel pretty or change something about my body. And then there's this component in my psyche that goes, why am I not using those extra drops of energy to save little girls from getting raped? And so, like, you step into the house of master instead of demonic Slytherin narcissism. Demonic is like, that's an understatement. I want to feel beautiful on the inside, and I want to be around like I want to be around people that make me feel beautiful on the inside. And I don't want to have to, like, listen to a bunch of I don't want to have to listen to a guy tell me I'm looking ugly, or I gained like 5 pounds, or I now have like 5 wrinkles. Like, I so now I'm like, I want to develop my mind, but I still want to feel good and beautiful for me. But I want it to transcend narcissism. And I want it to transcend, I don't want the little drops of light and energy and magic I have to offer to be going to my exterior or my front instead of children still stuck in a rape trade or human trafficking, because that's bizarro. So there's this weird paradox happening, mostly because I'm so desperate for my own inner love and inner light, and I'm still trapped in this Slytherin narcissism thing that still hasn't cooked out fully. So that's what we're going to do today. At the end of the Gryffindor initiation, we built it up. We built up everything where our Clippeth id was now a giraffe, which had the gnomes underneath that in the micro worlds, and then it compounds by 3 by 3 by 3. So now we have 27. Okay, so we didn't light it on fire and set it into seraphim. So whatever little bits of the Slytherin, it wasn't fully activated, and it should have been. It should have been. But now we're going to really do it. So it helps when you watch these DCP videos where we do the genetic wiring in a compounding fashion. And that's why it's on the webpage. So we had it at about 27 extra micro sets of worlds where we're reinstigating the gnomes, redoing the giraffe, redoing the gnomes, redoing the giraffe, redoing the gnomes. Okay, so 3 by 3 by 3. We're going to make sure that was at least 1,000 worlds down. And we're going to make sure that it gets all the way to the bottom. So you're going to close your eyes. If you haven't done this meditation yet, then you need to go back to the giraffes and gnomes meditation. And it's underneath the temple building, or the either the temple egg or the personal egg, I forget. But it says giraffes, gnomes, and so we're gonna ground out our energy. We're gonna go at least 1,000 worlds down. We're gonna see if we can wrap our metal mesh around the core of the earth and then spiral that 1,000 worlds through the inset of the planet. So it's like a jawbreaker. So if you cut the planet in half, you have 1,000 rainbows or rings, and they compound through the whole planet. And we're going to have half of it on each. We're going to set a giraffe magic at the top of each world. So each world looks like a box. And then you have a center point, which is Tiferet. And then you have the giraffe. And then you have the gnomes. Then you have the giraffe at the next box. And then the gnomes. So see if you can visualize that throughout the planet. your main anchor point is through your own dragon tail. And then we're going to put on the honeycomb. My face is all swollen because I'm processing the energy times a billion. And it's just falling off of my face. We'll see where that goes in life. Somebody says, it's because you got stretched out, Collie Red. Yes, I got stretched out. Like, I got stretched out, and now I'm having to. So, we have the ground floor filled with the gnomes and the giraffes. And it's feeling a lot less Slytherin and a lot more marshmallow down there. And today I filled up the Clipith with the Ravenclaw lasagna, which is really nice, actually. And then we put in the marshmallow charm. And then we're going to set it all on fire. Remember, the Tiferet honeycomb is actually flammable. And we're going to cook out the remaining Slytherin. So this is our prep work. And I can already feel the air, the air around the planet begin to shift. New waves of intelligence. And maybe, I don't know if that was the light, but Maybe my Slytherin Clippeth face is gonna disappear. Maybe not. I don't know. There is it returned, so it's back and forth. Like after getting knife raped for 9 months, like there's just this incessant need for just anything to feel better about myself other than my brain telling me everything's going to be fine. So we have the dragons still charring up the gunk. And it's mostly my emotional body. It's probably your emotional body. I'm sharing my story with you, but I know you all have your own. Oh my god. It's just we went to war. So now I'm going to ask for that same level of energy to be built around in these middle worlds. And that's like the DNA. Just imagine like little boxes around your body. The sun is coming in and out. Sorry, you guys. Just imagine those little boxes. Going around the planet through the middle worlds. Charlie says now he can start to get to me, but he doesn't know yet. Oh, yay. And the same thing. So we're going to pour in the maturity charm. So get at least to the top of your head. The maturity charm, and then we're going to put all those giraffes and gnomes again through all the boxes, but it's going to be, we have the world and then we have the outside of the world filled up. So we've made a bigger jawbreaker. If it's crazy in your brain, what you do is you do the rings and then do the pattern of the giraffes and the gnomes, and then you do it on a 90-degree angle, and then another ring, and then the giraffes and the gnomes, and then you fill in the 360 spheres. And then we start hearing that it's a Hufflepuff planet at the least. And then we put on the honeycomb. And then there's another honeycomb. On the other side. Fill in the full sphere. And then the marshmallow charm. And then we have the dragons light that up. I'm hearing some of you guys say, I never want to get old again. So after Gabriel, you feel like your cells have aged 10, 20 years. So you took a lot of really hard hits. So there's a component of Gabriel up to Hokmah. That's the Phoenix path. So where the bird looks all molten and ugly and then sets itself on fire and then rebirths itself. Okay, so that, there's a reason that it sits on Gabriel to Hokmah. But we're going to do the cheap and easy way, which is like come back to here, which is chesed, without even crossing the abyss yet. So it's a gentle burn. Here we come back to the feminine. And our people in Ravenclaw are like Maleficent and Irene Adler and like Sophia Loren. And then I forget the woman, but we're talking about like woman beauty. I think she's in the Parent Trap, the original one. Old original. I forget her name. But it's a strong female presence where it's matured and developed and has a sense of poise about it. Maureen O'Hara. Okay. There are very few women who have ever really presented that energy on the planet. Just like there are very few ascended masters. So with that chesed energy, it's not look at me, look how beautiful I am. Okay, so it's not Netzach beauty. It's a mature, transcendent mother. And so that is the deeper feminine coming through. I want to get some okay, I know an Iranian, I think I forget what her name is. Oh my God. But she's one of the most beautiful Muslim actresses. But there are these strong female presences that exude elegance just in their face and their demeanor, and it doesn't seem low in life. The most beautiful Muslim women. It doesn't seem cheap or slutty. She's older, so she's not going to be on this list, I bet. This is bad. This is bad news. All of these actresses, the most beautiful Muslim actresses, they're all gorgeous and they're all young, and none of them have this presence about them. I think see all of these women are like Netzakian beauty. It's not a developed, mature woman. Kate Blanchett can sometimes come off with that woman energy, but there are very few. Here are some names in the entertainment industry. Here she is. Just keep meditating and burning out this Slytherin while here. I'm gonna botch her name, I guarantee you. It's Soray. I see. I can't say it. I can't even say it. But she's probably one of the most famous. But you'll never forget her face or her demeanor, her presence or her voice.
Agdashlu.
Say it again.
Shohra Agdashlu.
Shora Agadashlu.
Shohra Agdashlu.
There it is. So we're definitely burning out the Slytherin narcissism in our brain. Trying to see if there are any other actresses. Viola Davis can sometimes present a very elegant This old soul. Deep female wisdom. So that's the backbone of Ravenclaw because you're coming from the abundance of how women have dealt with men and the masculine energy for infinity. So these women have not cooked out their snake brain yet, but even so, in Hode, they have historically carried a lot of respect and soul depth and grace about them. So we're going to sit in the dragon fire as it continues to purify. And really, what it does is diminish and belittle the people that are perverse. Because it doesn't mean as much when you start being able to take care of your own self with a sense of maturity or mastery. And then bubbles start coming up. And I hear people like Star going, "You're supposed to actually get knife raped because that's what everybody wants." So when you're at the higher intelligences, Star looks like this. In life. And she's such a psycho. She won't even write one page out to clean up anything. Now I'm really dropping low, 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 low into the bottom of the clip. So none of these people developed self-control or self-awareness. And you want to make sure that until you're sitting on a puddle of blue, now you should feel buried by everything you just created and in a safe space. Just buried. And you can recognize all the holes in your grid and then fill it in from there. So whatever you're still sitting on, fill it in. With the marshmallow charm and the honeycomb. And let the dragon set it on fire. Okay, so if your shadow, your bottom of your clip itself is going to somebody else, you were supposed to get knife raped. That's what everybody wants. That's because you're a Slytherin. And did not do the required Tiferet practice. And if people are able to channel you at the bottom of the clippeth, like that, it's because you have issues that are unresolved. I didn't even know the clippeth existed. That's convenient. So we want to make sure our whole bodies are cooked out, set on fire. See how much more important that is? Like I would way rather be ugly on the outside where I'm using all my energy to make sure I'm not going to other people in the hell realms, just reality. Um, Going, you're supposed to get knife raped. How embarrassing. So like that's the point of like a Slytherin. Like a Slytherin would rather be young and beautiful and then have that energy instead of be like, I have work to do. I don't feel young and beautiful, so it doesn't even matter. I feel old, tired, and gross. I feel gross like every day. So I'm definitely making sure my Slytherin cooks out. And everything is getting set on fire. And this is where you can go, I am a seraphim and I get set it on fire. Or I'm a Hoshmalim and I set it on fire. You go red fire or orange fire, red, orange fire, or blue fire, or both. Either way. Some people are like violet fire, like violet flame it. So you begin to remember or realize the spiritual world or the spiritual term gross body. And you go, yeah, I know this body is gross. And then it makes it really easy because it is. It's this is the gross body. And maybe someday we'll have a body that's not so gross. That'd be awesome. But for now, we're purifying any of the Slytherin. So it's narcissism, lust, lack of empathy, trying to think of what other vices of Netzach. Possessiveness. So those are the main issues you want to be burning through. until you can feel like your lower DNA light up from your bottom. It's better if you light up from your feet. I'm trying to get it there. Mine says seraphim, and it go choose seraphim or choose Hoshmalim. So it will like Hermione ankles or Hermes ankles, like feathers and wings on the feet, and then the DNA goes through the bottom of the feet. So you'll have it will make a choice. Yeah, the Seraphim should definitely do the Ravenclaw program. But I'm altering it, so I'll have specifics for the Seraphim at the end so that a Seraphim can integrate it appropriately. But they should do like the tower build and pick what they like, or build a tower for somebody else that's a Hashmalim, etc., etc., or somebody that they want to be a Hashmalim. It's good to have knowledge. And they should do the Crystal Yoke Temple. The Hashmalim and the Seraphim are lovers, so they build off of each other. The Seraphim is built off of the intelligence of the Hashmalim, and the Hashmalim is built off of the selfless service and backbones and backbreaking work of the Seraphim. So that there's a love appreciation. All right. We're going to get into the recesses of our bones. I am still a Slytherin. See how much purification work we still needed to do to even get here? And we let the wires climb through each vertebrae. I go through the dragon tail. And I go through my feet. And the bones in my feet. And I let the wires pop up like little miniature snakes trying to latch on to any kind of DNA that might come through that's not slithering. So getting from I'm still a Slytherin to I am not still a Slytherin or I am not a Slytherin. Ah, and now I'm feeling a new giraffe coming through, popping through my head. And the main energy popping through the lower parts of my spine, through my legs. I'm not a Slytherin. Over in like clippeth id. Then we look at all the 27 layers of compounding micro worlds below us and see if we can do the same thing. So in the mystery school, there's this like Isis healing. Like cut through the etheric body on like such a deep emotional level that you can like, so it's like clear out the snake body and see like what you can rebirth into. Like a snake or dragon. I'm gonna go with dragon. Shedding its skin. Somebody said that's what they feel like every day with me. That's probably accurate. So I'm hoping that I can get that through. I'm going to cut open like a layer through each leg. See if I can. It sticks at the legs. Like so much narcissism in my thighs. All right. And then the other leg. And if you want to cut through the ankles and the heels, and then through each toe, see if you can like step outside of your own body. Ew, it's so gross. This feels so gross. And through, maybe through the, cut through the toenails and the fingernails, just to open it up. Think of it as a light sword instead of a physical one. Not like an astral attack, but like a crystal surgery, crystalline light surgery. Somebody's like, this is when I want to pour that Vonadonite on my body. It's all open, and now it wants the Vonadonite, which is that nice, warm salviohexia energy. But like grounding and brick building. Yeah. And then like also Tiferet light frequencies. It's hard to get Tiferet at the bottom of the clippeth. It's not an like it took us a long time to clean for a reason. Um I just fell off my pillow. I am still a Slytherin. If you're finding the parts of you that are like, I'm still a muggle demon, then that needs to go out too. It's just Hode versus Netzok. So we didn't do the snakes and ladders for Netzok, and we're going to after all our wonderful wisdom of Ravenclaw. And it's going to be for the Fountain of Youth. So if we get rid of our Slytherin, then we get the Fountain of Youth. But not before, because that's psycho. You have to get like to true love and true service and like benevolence to get to like beauty, Fountain of Youth. And then Netzok becomes non-evil. Because it becomes, at that point, it becomes non-Slytherin. More like mermaid. Not the people, though. Not the witches and wizards, just the Sephiroth. So maybe I'm getting my shape-shifting vibe. I'm trying to open up the back of my head and the back of my spine also. I'm still a Slytherin. I'm letting that cook out. And open up, and then the snakes climb They climb and try to find new light. All right. I am still a Slytherin. It's starting to really cook out and purify from the bottom. You should feel it in your back, in the rib cage. Many hairs coming through. I don't feel as poofy. Feel a little bit more whole. Now I'm just reviewing my root chakra, like the ground beneath me. And it's still saying I'm still a Slytherin. So I'm going to open up my legs and I'm going to cut open that energy. I'm going to stroke it. To get across the abyss, we have to purify this out of our system. And through my back, my angel wings are beginning to pop out again. And I'm really afraid it's just my Elohim wings. But that's an upgrade. That's an upgrade. Like I feel the air, pockets of air. It's almost like they could manifest in the physical world. That's what they feel like. It's like a third dimensional, like high res version of an angel wing, but in the astral. At the bottom of the clip it, that's not horrible. And if they are the Elohim wings, we can paint them with gold, Tiferet gold, and turn them into Malachim. And that's what we do in life. It's a very keen reminder that angel wings aren't a sign of angel. It could just be a sign of Slytherin. Angel wings. Shape shifting. That's why you're like, I want to be part of, like, I don't want Elohim, angel. I'm like, Hashmalim, Seraphim, Malachim. Pick a tribe and then go, I'll die before I won't be there. There you're safe. Okay. I'm still a Slytherin. We're setting that into, we're going to put it grow organically with time charm all over our bodies. And maybe mix it with I'm not a Slytherin. Maybe you mix it with Hashmalim charm or Seraphim charm. And choose. And you put it in your legs. You put it in your root chakra. You put it in your spine. and you put it on your wings. Maybe you have wings that popped out or are trying to. Like, I don't want to be an Elohim. And then you put it in your throat. The higher seraphim intelligence is going, it's not my job to sit on fucking knife rape. It's my job to clean it. That's how a seraphim is. Like, seraphims aren't martyrs in life. They are warriors and ninjas. Literally, the warriors of God. Seraphim. And the Hashmalim are the intelligent ones. Okay. If you are a Malakim and you want to mix your grow organically with Time Charm with Hufflepuff Malakim gooey dough, you can. Just go. Try to do it with a fifth house. Fifth house Malakim charm instead of second house Malakim. Second house Malakim is still Slither. That's like, I don't want to do a lot of work to do anything right. Okay. We're going to have our dragon come and burn us. Any of the parts of us that are still Slytherin. Now will be our final clean out. And maybe you see all yourselves that are still Slytherin jumping into the lava or being purified by the dragon fire. I have a lot of those. Don't worry. They're not knife raper selves. They're just Slytherin selves. There's a difference. Historically, I've done very well in Slytherin. Because I'm a high out and stuff. Like, old soul. So really, really good old souls do well in Slytherin because they just act like, I'm going to kill Voldemort because that guy's an ass. So that's a very strong history through my timeline. The dark side of the Seraphim. That's also why I knew how to open up Netzach. And then just have the intelligentsia charm be poured over you on the front and back. It's a little bit nasty. It doesn't really have much knife rape left in it, but it still needs to get decoded. But definitely put the Vereda serum on there. And then let the Vereda serum drop all the way down. All the way down to the root chakra and clippeth id. All the way down till you get to the core of the planet and you're like filling the lava with Vereda serum. If you're feeling like you can barely get it in your body, you get the Vereda serum in your bones and down your spine, your skull. Okay. We should be sitting in a pool of Vereda serum. And it's now filling us to the bone. And already I'm feeling more youthed. I'm less like poofy and less aged or disgusting. So I look more awake. I don't want to be the belle of the ball, like feeling like I just got knife raped. That's the worst. I want to feel like I just stepped out of a magazine instead. And that's a real ascended master. Is that you're a ninja, but you're also like, you can also be a girl. And that is everything. All right. I'm getting real excited about the future here. Is that we can save all the kids from human trafficking and look like goddesses at the same time. Collie Wren out.